Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another great episode of Sports Extra Uncut today with me, Kobe Clark, and my guest, yet again, Jacob Pickett.
What up, what up?
How are you doing today, Jacob?
I'm good. We're talking about the wrestling, which is the only time you're going to see me on this show.
Of course, always.
So you know what we're talking about when I'm
here.
here. Oh, wait, never mind. I'm not putting these on.
That is the wrong music.
Yeah, it has the... All right, here you go. Now, hold on. I think we should be good.
Let's see if this works.
We're very good. Yeah, we know what we're doing.
Oh, yeah,
there we go.
We totally do.
Yeah, we just missed a button. All
I
right,
won an
cool.
award for a reason, guys.
Yeah, dude.
Get it over.
Yeah, you did.
I did, actually, yeah. Won the best newscast in the nation.
He did, yes. We got an award winner here.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Kobe.
And yeah, Gavin Cook, he won.
Yes, and Gavin won. I don't know if has he had a shift yet? I don't know. Whatever.
He'll mention it.
He'll mention it. We'll probably mention it on shut-ins as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
how was your spring break?
Yeah.
Before we get into anything really crazy.
It was good, and it started off with the main thing we're going to talk about on this show.
You're not wrong.
Which is a fantastic start on that weekend. That was a fantastic show that we're going to be going over real quick, since we could have talked about it last week, but obviously we weren't here at all. So
sadly,
you know.
My spring break went to Alabama, Gulf Shores, had a great time with my girlfriend, my family. It was a nice trip. Definitely.
Yeah.
A little expensive at times, but
well,
hey,
yeah.
that's just part of it.
That just happens.
Expected.
Yeah, I did nothing on spring break. I slept.
You stayed home?
Yeah, I stayed home and slept. My vacation is
wishing
2
I did
weeks.
that.
Yeah.
Thinking that. Literally, all I wanted was one free day. Like when we came back, and I hadn't.
Right, I get you.
I had to wake up every morning before 6:30.
Mm-hmm.
It's just awful.
That's annoying.
I'm running off of 5 hours of sleep, and I've been awake.
And a bag of Doritos.
And
you're welcome.
I've only had a bag of Doritos. Shout out Jacob for the $1 bill. Yeah. So pretty much before we dive into anything wrestling related, for the short amount of time we do have today, sadly, let's recap what happened over in the state of Indiana today, the IHSAA, over the past weekend, I should say. Regionals basketball happened. Just to recap exactly who won each regional, we're going from left to right. Class 4A, 3A, 2A, and 1A. The Cathedral Fighting Irish did defeat the Ben Davis Giants 72-57. If you were to catch that game, our radio station I work for, the other one, WAXI, 104.9 WAXI. We carried the Terre Haute North team, the Terre Haute North Patriots, against Cathedral. Sadly, they came up just short of reaching a regional championship. But anyway, congratulations to the Patriots team. Sadly, did not end the way they wanted it to. The Sullivan Golden Knights, that is another little local team going on around here. They did defeat Evansville 89-85. And let me tell you this, just real quick, fun fact. There's a guy on Sullivan named Randy Kelly.
Okay.
His last 3 games, buzzer beaters.
Word.
Not even lying.
That's awesome, actually.
It's crazy.
How does he do it?
I do not understand it. It's
nuts.
crazy to get 1.
Right.
And then you think about it, oh my God, back to back, this will never, it's done.
Yeah,
and then you
he's
do
done
3.
3 in a row.
At that time, you got to be like, okay.
Yeah, that's
I'm
absurd. That's magical. If not cheating.
University lost to Eastern, looks like, see who this is real quick, if I can load it. Eastern Hancock to a score of 54-44 or 47. And then Leo. The Leo Lions did end up winning against Northwood 56-43. So congratulations to everyone who won that game or their games in the regional tournament this past weekend. There are all sorts of different locations like Washington, Southport. Yeah, it's crazy. But Jacob, let's get to what we want to talk about today.
Yes.
We've talked about it. Not really. We mentioned it a few minutes before break, but we haven't really dived deep into it.
Yeah.
Sadly, we don't have a lot of time today.
Mm-hmm.
We only have a quick episode, about 25, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But we're going to be talking about just this one thing, this huge thing that happened.
Yes.
AEW Revolution.
Yes. That happened 2 Sundays ago now, like the beginning of spring break. And we all knew that the show was stacked from the get-go. Like going into it, like we were like, this could shape up to be incredible, and it still went above and beyond that somehow. I don't know how you have a show that's already going to be on the card alone incredible, and then go above and beyond that, but they managed it, and it's just, man, that show is one of those things where afterwards, like after it was over, I was just like, God, I love wrestling. You know what I mean? Like it's something you watch and you're just proud to like enjoy that afterwards, you know. And that doesn't always happen with anything in general, but especially wrestling sometimes these days. Like you'll see something just be like, wow, this sucks. Everything sucks. But this show was so good. Literally for like, there's only like one thing I like didn't like. I was like on, but still like everything else in the show, and that's probably just the placement of the match. But everything else was just incredible. Like just to start off with the pre-show matches. Some of these matches should have been on the main card,
You think?
or at least, or well, mainly just a tag match. So like legit Layla Hirsch beat Chris Statlander by cheating again. But that's cool. I'm glad they were both on the card. They're both fantastic.
I love Chris Statlander.
Yeah, I'm
She's
very
a good look.
Yeah, she's should be everywhere, honestly. And I think with her, I thought she would win and just like I don't know, get in the title picture maybe, but or one of the two. But then she lost, so I guess that feud's still going. I don't know. And then Hook, our boy Hook, the greatest wrestler to ever live. Sadly, only on the pre-show.
He'll get there soon. Don't worry.
Yeah, but just beat QT Marshall, which I mean, of course he did. But it was fun.
I don't like him.
It was fun because he was like, oh yeah, he trained him like legitimately. He's like trained him to be a wrestler, and he's just like, oh yeah, like, you know, we're cool. I'm just gonna like show him what's up, and then he just gets ruined. Crowd ate it up. Everybody loves Hook. Hook is the man.
Hook is literally what the marks say. Phenomenal. He's like just so good.
Yeah, I was gonna say like it's like he just started wrestling, yeah, but like it don't matter. This dude gets it. This dude gets it, and then Taz is always on commentary. That's always fun.
Love Taz.
You know, I love Taz. So he's just sitting there. He's calling every move by name that he says. It's hilarious. I love it. And then this tag match, of the two trios tag matches that were on this card as a whole, I think this one should have been the one on the main card. Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense how this wasn't.
I really don't get it. Yeah, House of Black, Malachi Black, Brody King, and recent signing and joining Buddy Matthews went against
Buddy Murphy.
Formerly known as Buddy Murphy, went against Pac, Penta Oscuro, and then Eric Redbeard showed up on Rampage a couple days before and then joined in. This is the second time he's just showed up out of nowhere and then left.
Yeah, it was like
he's not signed.
He's not signed to the company. When was the first time? It was
the first one was the Brody Lee tribute show.
Yeah, exactly.
That he showed up. But yeah, so this one was just I think it was they said Pac was like, oh, I'm gonna bring someone from my past. So you knew it was going to be a WWE guy or maybe an old NXT guy.
Yeah.
But it's funny he said that because people assume like, oh, somebody he's like teamed with or like is friends with. Nah, it's Eric Redbeard. I don't think they've ever
makes no sense.
interact. It didn't really make sense, but it was cool. He's great.
I don't think I've ever seen them in the ring together.
I don't think so either. Honestly, I was thinking that same thing, but because I didn't see Rampage the days prior, so I had no idea until like they showed the video package before. I was like, oh, Eric Redbeard's here. That's cool. But this match ruled. It was so much fun.
So undervalued.
Yeah, I love everybody in this match so much. So like this was perfect for me. This this should have been the trios match that was on the main card. But if there's anything you're gonna watch that you haven't seen, if you didn't watch the pre-show, go watch that because that was a lot of fun. Then the first match opens up.
Can I say one thing before we
Yes,
go on?
of course.
I absolutely love the fact that Malachi Black and Buddy Murphy's and Brody King won their match.
Oh yeah, that too.
It definitely built the stable up more.
Yes.
They didn't need to lose. They didn't need a loss.
Yeah.
It just made perfect sense, and that was a great booking decision.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I agree. I was gonna say I kind of thought they would for a bit there. I was like, there's no way because Buddy Black was kind of getting rocked a lot in that match. He's getting beat a lot. I was like, are they really gonna have them lose after like they just had a new member? I really believed that at first, but. No, they did, and that's good. The House of Black rules. I'm excited to see what they do from now on because everything about them's like cool, you know.
Yeah.
Like it could border on corny maybe sometimes, but it just we all eat it up. Like it's the perfect in between. For it, it's great stuff.
We'll get into the main show though.
Yeah, the main show starts up with something I was very much looking forward to because if Eddie Kingston did not beat Chris Jericho, I was gonna be furious.
It made so much sense.
I was gonna be really mad if Chris Jericho won, but no, the match was very good. And not only did Eddie Kingston win, he submitted Jericho too.
That surprised me.
Which was crazy. Yeah,
I didn't think that he would tap.
Yeah, he started putting him in a stretch plum. I'm like, I haven't seen somebody use a stretch plum in a million years. Like that was super weird. But yeah, he did it, and he won. And then of course Jericho had said that he would give him respect and shake his hand after the match, but didn't. Which then the following week, last week on Dynamite, we didn't talk about what happened on the post show as well, the post Dynamite show really.
Yeah.
And I guess Rampage. But yeah, I was gonna say like a lot of stuff keeps happening, right? But yeah, then Jericho did shake his hands, and then Santana, and then 2.0 and Daniel Garcia came back out because they've been bothering Eddie Kingston just since they got here, which I think is hilarious. That they just don't leave him alone. And
I don't know why.
They said the whole feud is just like they won't leave him alone, and he's like, please God, leave me alone.
Doesn't it
That's
get
just
old?
it.
Like to me, it's gotten old.
I was fine with it, and I guess they thought that too, because then Jericho's like fending them off too, and then Santana and Ortiz come out to even it out. But then Jericho, and then Jake Hager comes out as well, but then Jericho starts beating up Santana and Ortiz as well. And Jake Hager's like, oh, what's going on? But then he sides with him anyway. So now the Inner Circle is finally done. I thought it was done, and then it wasn't, but now it is actually.
So
and now it's
completely done.
Yeah, and now it's Jericho, Jake Hager, 2.0, and Daniel Garcia, and they are the Jericho Appreciation Society, which is the worst name ever, and it's quite funny. They're probably just going to call them the JAS, but like it's still not good. Like somebody joked and said they should have added more letters to the nickname long so the acronym could just be Judas. And I'm like, honestly, that would have been better.
That would have been way cooler.
It would have been a real mouthful and probably sound really stupid. But you could just call them Judas.
Exactly.
And that would have worked out. But whatever, that happened. Chris Jericho once again saw a young act that was getting over and had to attach himself to it. That's what he always does.
Chris, never.
He can't not do it. It's kind of annoying. Sometimes.
Jericho's Jericho. He will.
Yeah, this is kind of annoying, especially because I really like 2.0 and Garcia. But whatever, we'll see. We'll see how far it goes. The next was a tag match, and in true AEW fashion, they just went insane.
It honestly caught me off guard that Jungle
Boy.
Yeah, Jungle Boy
and Luchasaurus
actually retaining this title.
I was like, I feel like it's way too soon because I wasn't expecting him to win them in the first place. When they beat Lucha Brothers, that surprised me.
I think he was writing on the wall a little bit.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure about it, so I was surprised when it happened. But I was thinking like they're gonna put the Bucks and Red Dragon with this like mini kind of friendship, but also feud they're having in like a triple threat, especially because from the get-go when they announced it is going to be a triple threat, like there wasn't some like feud thing that happened. They literally just said it's going to be defended in a triple threat, which is kind of weird and out of nowhere to do that. But I figured because they did that, it was like, okay, well then it makes it seem like to me that they're going to lose the titles, but they're not going to get pinned for it.
Yeah.
Which I was like, I guess like you can get away with that, but no, they retained and they just ruined each other. Red Dragon, specifically Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah.
Broke the truce between the Bucks because they were teaming up for like 5 minutes or whatever, and then it went almost another like 20. just all then it just became a free for all. After that, Adam Cole is still like the single child of a divorced family, basically.
I wish they would honestly hurry up and figure out.
Then on the following Dynamite.
Yeah.
I can't. Oh yeah. He chose Red Dragon.
What's his name? Yeah.
Yeah, he chose Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly.
What's their name?
Red Dragon.
Is that their team? No, is that their tag team name?
Yes.
Why?
Yeah, it's Red Dragon. It's always been Red Dragon. Well, except in NXT because they were,
That would explain why I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Their theme song rules. I love that theme a lot. I don't care much for Bobby Fish these days, but Kyle O'Reilly rules. And honestly, I'm already kind of looking forward to when he does singles stuff again in AEW.
I wish he would have stayed, honestly. Out of anyone, I wish he would have stayed.
What, in NXT?
Yeah.
Oh, really? I don't know, bro. They did the whole rebrand, and it was like, this is not the place for him anymore. But also there's some old, because there's like people who are still stayed in NXT, they're in 2.0 now. It's just kind of like, this is weird.
Dude.
Like, this is not for them.
Butch.
Dude, don't get me started. This is not what we're talking about. I'm not talking about Butch. That's the worst thing. I forgot to text you about that when I heard that. I was appalled. Last week
was on my phone in the car, and I'm just like, okay.
I was sitting there. I think the show. I wasn't watching. It says for context, Pete Dunne's on SmackDown now, and they renamed him Butch, just Butch,
Nope. No
Just-
reason.
Yeah, just Butch. His
You may
name's
know him
Butch.
by a different name, Bella.
Did they say that? Actually,
Yeah.
I didn't even see the.
Yeah,
oh my
I saw the
God.
introduction.
See, I hate when they just announce it like that too. Just pretend it's a new person, even though he's been on the main roster for Royal Rumble stuff.
All,
I don't know because it's Vince McMahon.
You're not gonna change John Cena's name to Baloney or something.
Yeah,
like
right.
That.
Well, see, to be fair, back then they didn't go changing people's names like that. They just they gave them new names, but if they were already in the company at one point, I don't know. It's whatever.
It makes no sense. Why would they start doing it now?
Yeah, they kind of stopped
back then.
Well, they stopped. They did it for a while, then they stopped for a hot minute, and then they went back to doing it. And it's been even worse than the original time.
I think honestly, the first time I heard of a name change was Apollo Crews, and then he got his name back, and then now recently.
Oh yeah, it was just Apollo, and then it was Apollo Crews again, and I think it's still Apollo Crews now.
There was Rusev. No one knew that. I bet.
Because nobody watched NXT at that point.
Antonio Cesaro.
Yeah, everyone forgets that. Too.
Exactly.
That's
those were perfect reasons.
Yeah, that made sense. Or Adrian Neville to Neville. That was a good change. Honestly.
No one wants to see.
But now it's not short, because people would joke that they shorten their names all the time. Mm-hmm. But now it's just they're not just shortening them; they're giving them completely new ones. I mean, Dewdrop, for God's sake. That's the worst name I've ever heard in my life.
It's kind of grown on me by now.
I guess, but it's
forget a real name.
Anyways, we're not talking about WWE. We're talking about AEW Revolution.
Gunther.
Yeah, that's the worst one. That's the worst one.
Why?
That's the worst one. Anyway, speaking of single names, Wardlow in the Face of the Revolution ladder match, where it was 3 big dudes and then 3 not as big dudes in the match, which is, I think, how every ladder match and any multi-man match should go. It's either that or it's a bunch of small dudes and then one big hoss guy that just annihilates them and throws them out of the ring. Yeah. Those are the perfect stuff.
They're actually he's having the title match this Wednesday.
So the winner got a TNT Championship match, and then last week on Dynamite, Sammy Guevara lost the title to Scorpio Sky.
Who's on a winning streak.
Yeah, who's undefeated, which some people are convinced that means he's just going to lose to Wardlow. And I legit don't know what's going to happen when it comes to that.
Scorpio was this good.
Dude, Scorpio rules. Because he was doing that single stuff, and all of a sudden he was with Ethan Page and Dan Lambert, and it sucks and no one cares.
He was in a group. That's what I just was interested in.
Well, I mean, he started off in SCU, yeah, but that was cool. But then he was doing single stuff after they broke up, and then suddenly he was just in a tag team again, and it's I don't get it. Because I'm glad they're touting now, yes, Scorpio's doing single stuff. He won the singles title. I love Scorpio Sky, so I don't want him to lose the belt immediately.
I like him too.
But I can definitely see them just being all right, Wardlow's finally on his own. He's finally betrayed MJF. He's white hot. Everyone loves him. I would not put it past them to just put it on him. Because then
why would they make Scorpio a transitional champion?
See, that's the thing too, is that I don't want them to do that, but I can see them doing that, That's why.
But
yeah, I kind of want. I don't know. Well, a lot of people are saying that since Wardlow aired out dirty laundry about MJF last week, he's going to come out and cost Wardlow the match.
I think they need to wait.
Because I think that's what they're going to do, and then Wardlow and MJF are going to have a feud, and then after that, sometime Wardlow can win the TNT Championship. Because I would like to see Scorpio Sky have this for a while. Keep doing this streak and everything.
And MJF should even face each other until maybe for the AEW title.
Maybe I don't know because especially with MJF losing to CM Punk, which we'll get to in a second. I think Wardlow and MJF, since they both, if MJF will cost Wardlow this Wednesday, and then they'll have a feud for God knows how long. And then so I think Scorpio Sky will still have the belt, and then eventually after that they can just immediately have a rematch. Wardlow can just have a rematch again if they want to, and then he can win, honestly. Mm-hmm. Then after that, also in that match, Christian Cage, Keith Lee, Orange Cassidy, Powerhouse Hobbs, Ricky Starks. A lot of incredible spots in this match.
Yeah.
My favorite one being, one, Danhausen showed up again and cursed Ricky Starks. That was I love Dan. Gotta love that Danhausen, man.
So funny.
He's the greatest. And then my other favorite one was, I think it was Hobbs and Lee holding up a ladder, and while Orange Cassidy was hanging on it, and then he pulled himself upwards and and flipped over onto the ladder and then tried to reach for it while they were holding it up. But then he slipped and crotched himself. So that spot was incredible. His upper body strength is absurd.
I saw a part on Twitter where it was like Keith Lee had two people in his like under his arms, and like Orange Cassidy ran up and like got on top of it.
Oh yeah, he climbed onto. Yeah, he was holding people, and he just climbed on top of them to get to it as well. Yeah, there was some fantastic stuff here, and I also like Ricky and Hobbs working together for a second, and then they looked at each other, seeing that the only one's left, and they were just like, all right, and then they just had like a not really a truce. They're just like, every man for himself, and then went up. Even then they're like, oh Taz, what's going on here, Taz? He's like, oh well, every man for himself. He's just gotta. They know what's up. They're still friends at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Then after that was
probably the weakest match.
I don't know well actually yeah, I think you might be right. However, it was very quick, which makes sense. Jay Cargill retaining the TBS championship against Ty Conti. Jay Cargill kills it with gear every pay-per-view. She came out dressed as Jade from Mortal Kombat.
That's sick.
And it was, dude, it was so sick. I was like, she's come out of that. She's come out of Storm from X-Men. Her gear is just, her big match gear is incredible. So she came out, I'm like, I remember after the match was over, I think I tweeted, I was like, Jay Cargill should never lose a match ever. I legitimately I would be totally fine if she never loses ever. She is it, man. Like, she's got, she's been wrestling for like a year now. As well,
that's it.
Which is crazy, and so I think did she defend on Rampage? I don't remember.
I don't think so.
I think she said there was going to be an open challenge. I don't remember. It might be happening this Wednesday, actually. I don't remember.
We'll have to look.
Yeah, I don't remember.
The only thing that I can really say about this match is they kissed at the beginning.
Yeah, that was the reason it's like a mind games thing. It was weird though, but also like when Ty Conti like did a face off with Jay Cargill like a week before. Like, because Jay Cargill is so much taller than her, like to mess with her, she did, like, kiss her on the forehead, because she's just, like, right there. But yeah, then they just, like, kissed at the beginning of the match, and I just assumed, I was just, like, mind games, and that was it. I was like, whatever. And then she obliterated Ty Conti, and it was pretty sick. Also, I didn't know that Anna Jay was out there at ringside. I think I must have just, like, missed the entrance or something. Because the next thing I know, she's there, and then just gets obliterated by Jade. Like, I literally just went from not knowing she was at ringside, and then she just died. It was hilarious. Then the talk of the show.
Yeah, we got it. Was 5:43 by the way. So.
Okay, I'll say the talk of the show was the next match. CM Punk and MJF in a dog collar match. I could do an entire show on this match alone.
5 stars.
I could go on and on about this match because it started off with something that I have been wanting to see again that I never thought I would. Much like I never thought CM Punk would be wrestling again, and here we are.
If you want to talk about it while I have to exit, by all means.
No, it's fine. I'll gush about this. The main thing being CM Punk's entrance. So like, Cult of Personality starts, and then it turns into MJF's theme song. He came out, got booed. So then I didn't see this till afterwards, but people on Twitter already started figuring out when that happened. They were like, oh wait, does that mean Punk's gonna come out to a different song? Because like it'd be kind of weird if they just play the same thing twice, And so I didn't see any of that though because I was just watching because I was waiting for the entrance. So then all of a sudden, like all the Trons are dark, and like MJF's music's already done, and then I see steam coming out, and I start hearing like some like ambient music, and I just go, oh my god! I was like, no way! And then the drums kick in. And the song is Miseria Cantare by AFI.
Yes.
And CM Punk used that for one of his best runs on the Indies, mainly in ROH, back in like 2004.
Yeah,
I think he was in WWE by then. So I think it was 04.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because that was the original summer of Punk, where he was ROH champion.
The real one.
Yeah, the real one. And that was when he was ROH champion, and he had said that he was going to sign with WWE as like a big heel move. And he was like, I'm going to take the title with me. And, like, people thought, like, he wasn't going to get beaten. He was actually going to take it for a long time. So he came out to that song. And so, like, they would have flashing lights. The way they did the entrance of the AEW Revolution was exactly how it was done in the Indies. The flashing white lights, the steam coming out. He was wearing, like, the same jacket he wore. Yeah, he was wearing the shorts. All he needed was to grow his hair out and dye it blonde, and he would have looked exactly like he did in 2004.
Dude, it would have been weird if he came out with the hair.
Where did he get the hair? Yeah, that would have been insane if he did that. So I see why he didn't do it. But, like, he did the poses. He did all the, like, taunts he does. He was singing along to it.
He kicked some butt, that's for sure.
Yeah, and then the match itself was incredible. Punk ends up winning. Wardlow betrays MJF finally and gives the ring to Punk instead. They bled a lot.
A lot of blood.
It was awesome.
Punk?
Yeah, Punk was gushing. It was that dude. Yeah, he's come back to wrestling. He's come back to wrestling.
Yeah, love that.
It's been incredible. Then we had the women's title match. The other one of Britt Baker retaining against Thunder Rosa.
I wish Rosa won.
I wish she did, but now she. But then they literally on the next Dynamite they said, I think this week she's having a rematch in a cage match, so she's probably gonna win. There'll be no Rebel or Jamie Hayter.
I really like what Britt Baker's doing.
Yeah.
But it comes to a point
it's
where
kind of run its course.
We know who's next in the line.
Yeah.
It's Statlander and Rosa.
Mm-hmm.
And no offense, she has to get the belt.
Yeah.
It just makes sense. I love the new belt, by the way.
Oh yeah, I didn't
really.
I didn't know. Well, I think they've slowly gotten better, if you ask me. But this one is the third one they have now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Wait, was it the first one that was
the first one was very small.
That was the one I was talking about.
Yeah, that one was bleh.
TBS title, TNT title, those two are.
Yeah, those look cool.
Alright.
Yeah. But yeah, so the new title, I didn't see any announcement of a new title belt. So she just walked out, and I was like, "Oh, that looks different." And then Excalibur's like, "Oh, showing off a new women's belt." I'm like, "They made another one already."
They didn't even say anything.
Yeah, it just kind of happened. It was weird, but that one looks.
This one actually looks like it'll stick around.
Yeah, it looks like a classic belt from back in the '80s. So I'm all about it. But yeah, Britt Baker won. She's probably gonna lose it in the cage match. I like Britt Baker, but I think that she's held on to it.
Is it on Wednesday or Friday?
I think it's this Wednesday on Dynamite. Yeah.
Okay. Well, tune in.
So 2 days from now.
Too, so.
Who watches Raw? Come on.
I'll admit it. Raw. Last week,
has it become the good show of
Raw
the
is
one
pretty
now?
good. It's because Roman wasn't on SmackDown. That's it.
No,
but real quickly, I just want to say, did you watch Raw?
Not at all.
The thing where if you saw it, Edge comes out after the promo, what he did to AJ, he comes out in this all big suit, all purple lighting.
Oh my god.
Quiet walk through the ring, no music.
Interesting.
It's just so.
Oh, yeah, because he turned heel.
So
yeah.
weird.
That's hilarious. I guess he's being a weirdo.
Every week I watch and hope and pray Cody still shows up.
Dude,
I don't know if he will.
That feels like a prank at this point, bro. Honestly, it's kind of funny.
It has to happen this week or next week, and there's no more hope I give.
Yeah, I get you. I'm amazed you have that much hope. Honestly, that's kind of impressive.
Last week with Owens and calling out Stone Cold, so I guess Stone Cold will be at WrestleMania.
Yeah, but it's gonna be like a talk show thing. At least that's what they're saying now. It's not a match, but. Anyways, another great match. Jon Moxley and Bryan Danielson. I looked at this match was incredible. I almost thought they messed up the finish because I looked away and it was the only time I looked away from the match and then it was over, and I was like, huh? And so I think Bryan got reversed out of a submission and it was 1, 2, 3, and he just barely got out at 3. So he was convinced. So I thought it was a mistake or something, or somebody messed up somewhere. But no, that turned out to be legit because then they start beating each other up again because Bryan's I didn't lose, I definitely didn't lose, I'm still gonna fight, and Moxley's I wasn't done, so I'm still gonna fight. And then William Regal shows up.
Exactly, dude.
William Regal shows up. And he just comes out. Yeah, everybody goes crazy. He goes up to his wrestling sons essentially because he's I think he trained. Or he trained both of them, and they both maybe not as much now, but back in when NXT was still FCW, Jon Moxley as Dean Ambrose had a feud and match with William Regal, and to get to him, he started using his moves and stuff like that as well. So huge thing to both of them. William Regal straight up said if I could be the perfect wrestler, I would be Bryan Danielson, and he was getting teary eyed and stuff. Or that happened on the Dynamite after. And stuff. It was really cool. So now Moxley and Danielson, Regal makes them make up and shake hands. So now we have the godlike team of Jon Moxley and Bryan Danielson with William Regal as their manager.
Yeah.
So it's this is incredible.
Champs.
I feel they would never lose unless they just betrayed one another or got mad. That's
probably what will happen.
Yeah, that's probably what will happen. But now that Regal's there, and if they start getting all those young guys they were talking about, that Bryan was talking about getting, and have a whole stable, that would be. Dude, that'd be so sick.
Ugh.
They just had a bunch of violent technical wrestlers. That'd be amazing. This is then the next match, the co-main, for some reason, this is the one that should have been on the pre-show. This was a 6-man tornado.
So high.
Yeah, I don't know why it was this co-main event. I was very confused. But Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, and Sting defeated the AHFO. A lot of shenanigans. Andrade Hardy family office, yeah. But yeah, it's like they just fought around the ring. The main thing is that Sting, who's almost like 62 in a couple weeks, jumped off like the top of stairs through like 3 tables.
Yeah.
Which was absurd. Yeah, again, this dude's over 60.
Love it.
Yeah, love it, and he seems fine. I think he was on. I don't remember if he was on. Yeah, he was on Dynamite and Rampage, so he's fine, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, that Sting is a maniac, and he's also like, he was like, he's like, I'm coming back to wrestling, and I'm doing stuff, because like he did that dive a month ago, like off the stage, like onto the table, and like didn't break, and he fell all weird. I thought that'd be the end of him doing stuff like that, because of how like it wasn't bad, but it was just like weird.
My man Sting.
Yeah.
I don't know what is getting into that.
Yeah, I don't know what he's on these days, but he seems to be loving it, so
he's
I'm all about it. Yeah, I'm all about it.
Tom Brady, he ain't quitting.
Oh my God. Anyways, the main event being the Battle of the Atoms, which had some of the best chants in a wrestling match I've heard in a while, where they were chanting, "Let's go Adam, Adam sucks," not specifying who, or just saying both. I think they said both these Adams at one point, or they were saying, yeah, or like something like that. So they kept having like very generic chants of Adam, since it applies to both. Very good match. They also bled. There's 3 blood-heavy matches on the show, which I love. I love that stuff.
I feel like sometimes it's not necessary. But I feel like this pay-per-view really
for all these feuds, and like there's times where it's probably like not needed, but so very good match. I was fairly certain that Paige was retaining, which I'm glad he did. However, this feud is
expected it.
Yeah. Oh, really?
I really thought Cole was gonna win.
I see. It was kind of up in the air for me, but I'm glad they're still sticking with Hangman, because he's just really with this feud after the match with Lance Archer, and this feud with Adam Cole. It's like it's like they remembered that he's the world champion.
Yeah.
You know, because before that it started to get like kind of and people were like, oh, is the fairy tale already over, or whatever? But no, that banger match with Lance Archer. I love Texas Death matches so much, and then having this feud with Adam Cole has been fantastic. And Hangman is the man.
Hangman's so good.
Yeah, and it seems like the feud's still going on a little bit, because they are having that tag match where.
Did he win the belt from Bryan?
No, he defended.
Not from the belt, but he defended it against.
He defended against. Yeah, it was the tie, and then he was the first person to beat Bryan Danielson. Yeah, all those matches were great. I love a good 60 minutes time limit draw.
John is champion.
Yeah, exactly. Like some people were saying after that, like, oh, it kind of like fell off or whatever. But no, it's been mostly good. It's just I don't know.
Don't worry, Kenny's gonna be back here soon.
Oh, speaking of, real quick, the very first thing that happened on the show was it started playing Kenny Omega's theme song, and everybody lost their minds, and then it was just Don Callis, and then he just had a schmoz about how Kenny Omega's great, and when he comes back, he'll win the belt, and then left, and that was it.
Love it.
I love Don Callis. You can say what you will about him, but I think he's hilarious.
Was it shoulder or arm?
I think Kenny was just in general, like he'd been wrestling nonstop as champ for like basically a year, and so he was just worn down.
Understandable.
And so he's in general. So when he comes back, it's gonna be nuts, because he's gonna be super well rested. Like whenever he comes back, I figured with Don coming back, it's kind of an inkling that it's sooner. Because I thought he was gonna bring somebody else out, or like Jay White was gonna come back, because he's he literally Bullet Club for life.
Just there. Now.
And he was.
Seen him on any AEW.
Yeah, I think Jay White just showed up for a cup of coffee for 2 shows, and then is out. So,
he was on Ring of Honor. I know that.
Was he?
Yeah, I think I just saw it. I saw him somewhere.
Well, I think Jay White's still been doing stuff in Impact.
Maybe it was Impact.
I'm pretty sure it was Impact. Yeah, because they're having the whole Bullet Club Civil War again. I actually had a New Japan Cup show just the other day. Which I believe, it was in Japan. All of Bullet Club was there, and they kicked out God, Guerrillas of Destiny, Tama Tonga, Tongaloa, and Jado which was out of nowhere. They're out of Bullet Club now.
Bullet Club.
Bullet Club for life. Yeah. So that was just other random news since too sweet, brother. So
that's also sad to hear.
Yeah. Also, other sad news. Unfortunately, Scott Hall passed away today.
Sadly. Well,
I think it was. No. Yeah. They said that he's on life support, but they were gonna pull it because there was nothing they could do.
Yeah.
Which is really sad. Shout outs to the bad guy.
He was so good.
He was. I will say this before we wrap up and head out of here. For Scott Hall, someone did post the clip where NWO and Eric Bischoff are in the ring on Nitro, and like Razor and Scott Hall's looking in the camera, and someone props to this fan for their aim because it made one of the one of the coolest things in wrestling ever. Where he's looking at the camera and a drink nails him in the head. He does not react at all. The drink nails him in the head and like splashes on him, and it's as if nothing happened. He does not move. He doesn't blink. He doesn't flinch. And then he looks at the camera and like uses it as like product and like brushes his hair back.
That's so funny.
It's so. I said legitimately like this dude. This is the coolest thing like ever shown on the wrestling show.
I need to look at this now. But
yeah, I would say that and something similar happened to Shawn Michaels one time too, where someone like nailed a drink on him and he just went and kept on walking to the ring. It was great.
Shawn.
But yeah, shout outs, R.I.P. Scott Hall.
Rest in peace, Scott Hall.
Shout out to him.
Life. We know he had his demons.
Yeah, I was gonna say like somebody like a lot of people say like a lot of wrestlers like don't get their flowers until it's too late, but he was able to get his life around and
that's good
and have that stuff. So
he had great matches with Shawn, ladder match.
Never won a world title wherever he went.
Never did.
That's honestly probably
he
one
was
of the
close.
Yeah, probably one of, like between him and I think Mr. Perfect, like probably some of the greatest to ever do it to never win the world title.
If it were to happen, it would have happened at Rumble '93. It's hard.
That or like some WCW show because everyone. What's kind of crazy because like everyone won it towards the end except him, which was.
He had great intercontinental matches.
Absolutely,
we all know 1, 2, 3 Kid.
Yeah, incredible. He fought. Then if you want to see something great, look up his entrance when he showed up at ECW one time. He comes out to what is it? I can't remember the song. He comes out to a Fuji song.
Okay.
I can't remember what it is now. The crowd, it's just like fan footage because it wasn't like recorded, streamed live or anything, or broadcasted. And the crowd erupts. It is one of the coolest.
I need to look
like
at this.
yeah, it's one of the coolest things I've ever. What Fuji song is that? I can't remember. Or no, it's Here I Come. Or or Ready or Not. Yeah.
Ready or Not.
Yeah, he comes out to So like it's like we're gonna find you, and then he comes out and they just go nuts. It's so awesome.
Well, before we recap this episode today, Jacob, what's your final thoughts and your final score for Revolution?
Man, I'm not good at quantifying like my thoughts on a show, but for this, I think it's a very easy.
Out of 5 stars, we'll say.
Out of 5 stars, I'll give it a 4.5.
4.5?
Yeah.
Understandable.
Yeah, that's it. There was only because there's literally only like 2 matches. I was kind of like on. Yeah. But everything outside of that was incredible.
Everything was great. They had
nothing was bad.
Some miscues. I feel like as we mentioned, different matches at different spots.
Yes, I agree completely.
The women's match didn't really do much for me. For Conti, and Jade. I'd give it 4.2.
Okay.
4.25.
Okay. Lord, how deep we're gonna get this?
It's just I think it's just missing a few things. I feel like if they just it's obviously not perfect.
Yes.
It
was very close. No, yeah, that's how I feel. Very close to a perfect show.
Loved it. But that, as we mentioned, that Hardy match and with the who was it?
With Sting and everybody. That being co-main. If it had to be on the main show, it should have been like the opener.
I think it should have been. Yeah, exactly.
But I feel like that could have swapped places with the House of Black match, and it would have been better, I think, in general. But
Jacob, I don't think that was a great episode.
Absolutely.
This was episode 3 of Sports Extra Uncut. Thank you guys so much for listening to this one. Next week, we either have Jacob here talking about more wrestling. We're on the road to WrestleMania.
Yep.
WrestleMania's almost here. So we'll get to that real quick and real soon. But until next time, make sure you follow us all on our social medias at WZIS-FM. And for Jacob, take care, man. Enjoy the rest of your week. And until next time, guys, I've been Kobe Clark, and this was Sports Extra Uncut. Thank you.